Ouch. Oops. I can't. I can't with just like forgetting my mic every time. Sorry. I'm literally laughing at myself over here. Oh my god. Auntie is really old. Anywho, how's your Tuesday been? Wait, is today Tuesday? I gotta check. Because your auntie is all kinds of old. So she's gonna go check to make sure. Hello. She's got the right day. Anywho, it's been quite a. Oh, how should I put it? Okay, fine. I had something else to say, but you know what? I'll just talk about some of what happened during my day today. I had some errands to run, which was great. Some personal errands, and I ended up at Costco. I have to say, this Costco that I go to, it now has steadily upgraded its offerings. Previously, you'd have, the usual what you'd find at Costco and what like new drops they have. But specifically in the skincare, I think they call it beauty department, they have more offerings of different skincare than they've had in the last, I want to say, 10 years or so. Yeah, definitely pre-pandemic. So I'm really, really glad about that. But anywho, we are not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about what has crossed my socials recently, which is um, Miss Tamar Braxton versus, well, everybody, or so it seems. Now, Tay Tay, girl, not that Tay Tay, by the way, the other Tay Tay, Braxton. How was I going to say Jackson? She's nuts. Tamar Braxton. Um, we know that she's been in a more recent mm, uh, rift. Should we say rift with one of her coworkers, Miss Jessie Woo? Jessie Woo. Um, and this has died down, thankfully, but I believe they are um, no longer chummy like they were before. Before they had this disagreement, and yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're still coworkers, but that's yeah, mm, about that. Um, I just yeah, Tamar Braxton. Honestly, girl, she's again back in the headlines for her comments on Real Housewives of Atlanta. While she was keying it up with Carlos King during his Atlanta stop of his tour, um, forget the name, something. Anywho, per Tamar, what she said uh, during her guest appearance on Carlos King's tour in Atlanta, she said that she's had conversations regarding joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta show cast. But the truth is, and I quote, there's just no way I'm going to sit for makeup, get a wig put on, get my makeup beat to argue with a bunch of bitches for nothing. I can't do it. And unquote. That's what she said. Um, yeah. So again, she said that she's had conversations, but that the truth is there's just no way she's going to sit for makeup, put her wig on, get makeup done, just to argue with a bunch of claws for nothing. Claws. You know, the claws for nothing. She says she can't do it. Mm, I'm side eyeing that hardcore because Tay Tay, how much did you actually get paid to appear as a guest on this stop on Carlos King's tour? Also, didn't she have her own reality show before? Um, what was it called? Braxton Family Values or Rules or something like that. Like, how much were each one, or how much was she actually paid to do the episodes in that particular show in its entire run? Was it like for example, let's just compare. Was it like on par with what Candy Burris paycheck would have been from like Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because you know, Candy, I feel like, is the highest paid cast member in Real Housewives of Atlanta. Um, she won't ever say the dollar amount because she's not that type of person, but she's always about her bag. And I feel like each and every season they would have had to make sure that they keep Candy by obviously increasing the amount that's in the bag, right? I mean, look, it's like for me, it's apples to oranges. I don't think Tamar would have been paid what Candy Burrs was getting paid on RHOA. I'm just saying. It's a wild theory, but hey, I'm just saying. Now we know Tamar can sing, but look, is she a total major performer who can command sold out concerts like Beyonce? No, and that's no shade. I mean, for many people, the Real Housewives check is enough to keep them trying to come back season after season because it's a check it won't bounce. Or at least I haven't heard. And keeps the coins in that bag filled. I mean, hello, it's a regular check. I'm just saying. Now, obviously, Tamar's sister Tony Braxton, hello, superstar, der. But I, I don't know. I feel like Tamar has this like youngest child sort of mentality where she needs to always have the spotlight on her. Like, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe she should just host her own show where she can have verbal diarrhea and still deposit a check. Or stick to the new Braxton family values. I mean, I sure hope the best for the show. I really did like the show before, even though, Tamar was like grating on my nerves for her antics. Um, I'm hoping that they all get like executive producer credit and get a nice check for each of them. I really do. For Tamar and her family, but Tamar, I don't think you have to denigrate one show to try and redirect attention to yours. Again, I'm just saying. Because for Tamar to say, and I quote, All money ain't good money. It's just not. And what's for me won't miss me, as it's not worth my mental to sit up here and argue with another black beautiful woman about nothing so other people can think this is what we're about. At some point, you have to take responsibility for what you put on the TV screen. End unquote. That's what she said. Again, she said that all the money isn't good money. It's just not, and what's for me won't miss me. And it's not worth my mental to sit up here and argue with another black beautiful woman about nothing so other people can think this is what we're about. At some point, you have to take responsibility for what you put on the TV screen. A ma'am, at some point, you also had to take responsibility for what comes out of your mouth. End quote. I'm just saying. If I recall correctly, you get into arguments with other beautiful black women on the screen, aka your very own blood sisters on your very own show, The Braxton Family Values, for nothing. Um, hello? I am so confused. She's not exactly known for being prim or proper. She goes off the rails over nothing, and really, it's not nothing. I'm gonna say. She's definitely got chispa for saying all of this in front of Carlos King and his fans. I think at this point, if you follow a lot of reality TV shows, you know that Carlos King does produce a lot of these reality TV shows. So, am I wrong? Literally, the woman gets into internet beefs with beautiful black women for free. So, what was the actual point of her denigrating anybody? It just, yeah. Or was the point lost on her? Then again, we have to ask, was she truly even asked to join Real Housewives of Atlanta? I mean, were you though, girl? Look, RHOA has become the beast it is because of the beautiful women who brought the show forward and onwards by bringing different dynamics to the show. And sometimes, yes, they're not always shown in the best of light, but still, those women knew that the bag is good and it has likely been good for their brand, as a lot of the women, a lot of them, not every single one of them, but a lot of them have parlayed their infamy on the show to greater things and to keep that bag filled. And with that, let's move on with this country music crossover drama that Miss Tay Tay just had to kick. She just had to kick dust up over it. While Tamar was doing another interview on the podcast We Sound Crazy, that's the name of the podcast, she simultaneously praised Beyonce for stepping boldly into genre and expressing pride, of course, for the recognition of black country artists, um, who are now receiving, um, I guess, more recognition following Beyonce's album Cowboy Carter. Uh, that would have been great because it's like, okay, you're giving praise to another performer. But in true Tamar Braxton, in true Tamar Braxton way, she had to add that some black country artists she's been listening to recently should not be singing country black music, as that was awful and it was concerning for her. And when she was pressed to expound on this, she declined to divulge specific names of who these country artists were that were making her concerned that they are singing black country music. But she did stand 10 toes down by adding, if you're going to step into a new genre of music and represent us, then you got to represent. Okay. Of course, this is going to cause some kind of stir because everybody knows there's only a handful of black country artists, um, who've crossed over. Mickey Guyton, I really like her as a country artist. She's a black country artist, female country artist, and I think my favorite song that I have heard from her is Black Like Me. I do, really do. But although she's not a crossover artist, because I believe she has always done country music, so she Tamar was definitely not talking about Mickey Guyton or Beyonce, even though Beyonce had just crossed over, or Beyonce has said that it's not a country album, it's a Beyonce album. But again, Tamar wasn't talking about her. So yeah, that handful of black country music singers just got smaller. And unfortunately, Miss Tamar, of course, we've already mentioned, she's known for having talent, yes, of course, and also having verbal diarrhea in the most inopportune times. So, with that off the cuff statement, was she maybe talking about an older feud she's had with a country crossover singer? Perhaps, perhaps not, but perhaps yes. So, for context, Tamar has had a feud between her and K.Michelle, R&B singer K.Michelle, tracing back to K's revelations on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where K.Michelle revealed her contentious relationship with a record executive named Memphis, who was at the time married to Toya Wright and was also a friend to Tamar. Now, Tamar then, at the time, hinted that K. Michelle's story was just that, a story, that it was imagined and not true. Which brings us to the present date, where K. Michelle had referred to Tamar as a Muppet. This recent jab, or maybe jab by Tamar, had K. Michelle responding, you know, because Tamar had said there's like country crossover singers who really shouldn't be singing country music. So that jab, a lot of people who still remembers the feud she has with K. Michelle, started connecting the dots and thinking, you know what? Maybe Tamar is taking a veiled jab at K. Michelle. And K. Michelle, she was locked and loaded and ready to fire because she responded with a reminder that she stays saddled on that horse and she is ready to slap a Muppet. Mhm. She has officially entered the chat, letting Tamar know, and whomever else, that while she was minding her country girl business and off to the races, she went dropping tweet after tweet of bombs, reminding folks not to come for her if they are not ready. Like, ooh, child, these streets are lava and is dragging people along like poor candy bears. Like, why not in the hell did Candy catch a stray in this feud, in this rekindled feud between Tamar and K. Michelle? What in the hell, Tamar? Why is she dropping Candy's name in this by saying if she wanted to talk about somebody, which she says she wasn't actually talking about K. Michelle, by that little diss of hers about country singers, crossover country singers, not who should not be singing country music. She would have called them out by name, like she said about Candy not being able to sing. Like, what? What? Tamar. Candy is over there counting her coins, minding her business, and catching strays in the process. Like, what in the hell? Tamar, where is your manager? Where is your publicist? Do you have a spiritual counselor? Somebody! Hell, Jace Louise. Why is this necessary, Tamar? You are just throwing rocks again and then hiding your hands and then turning around and claiming to be so zen and so positive. Goodness gracious, child, you are an overgrown toddler. Then again, all these antics of hers. With all these dramatic antics and pot stirring, this would have been a perfectly shady audition for that RHOA Peach. Wouldn't you say? Miss Tamar? And the producers watching this implosion. Anywho, darlings, what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts. Be nice or try it to be. Keep it real, but don't get into arguments with each other. And remember, you're all kinds of fabulous. I mean, what else are you going to be but be your fabulous self? And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But try to leave grace for others as well as remembering to journey always in gratitude. My darling dears, I shall see you in the next go round. We'll see what other noteworthy news or any news in other news will be crossing my socials. All right then. Talk to you later, darlings. To live now. Bye.